Prora is a geographical location on the Isle of Rügen, situated at the northernmost point of Germany. The building popularly known as Prora was built here. Officially named KDF Seebad, it was constructed between 1936 and 1939. Designed to be the holiday resort of the future of the new Germany, it was never to be completed. According to the architect's plans, the 5-story building complex would have had 2 blocks, each stretching to 2.5 kilometers in length, and together offering simultaneous accommodation for 20,000 holidaymakers. After 3 years of construction, the building was structurally complete when work was suspended in 1939 due to outbreak of war, never to be completed. After the war, this part of the country fell under the control of the former GDR. The somewhat rudimentary building was used for more than 40 years as an army base. Shortly after the reunification of Germany, the building was abandoned and has since remained empty. After emerging from the stairways on any one of the 5 levels, the visitor arrives to find an infinitely long corridor. Walking along it, we pass an endless row of doors opening onto identical rooms with a nearly identical view of the sea. For miles and miles, on all 5 floors, there are countless identical rooms with identical windows, and it is as if the same picture had been hung in all of the window frames.
Where's the put that? Where's the, you know, this small car with the trolley open? It's also down there.
At times, wandering through the building all by myself, I was completely stunned by the megalomania of the Third Reich's architects, enraptured by numbers. This is the multitude that is always the same. This is monotony measured in bulk. As a result of the incomplete state of the building, its past function, and other existing architectural details, I had to devise an apparatus that was adjustable, movable, and collapsible, one that could be dismantled and put back together so as to tackle any technical problems that may have emerged in the process. One gets the impression that the National Socialists' construction industry, whose strength came from building motorways, wanted to construct buildings by the kilometre too. The place is dominated by a strange kind of dichotomy. Its vastness makes it appear hopelessly unfathomable, while its uniformity suggests the knowledge of the entire. The corridor became the space of the exposure. To achieve the desired result, I built a so-called spatial partition unit, closely fitted to the corridor's dimensions, thus turning a segment of the corridor into a movable dark chamber. For a number of years now, I have been preoccupied with the analogies between the photographic techniques and architecture, or looking out of buildings to be precise. The underlying principle is based on a simple fact, and our familiarity with this simple fact probably reaches back to an age when man first separated the interior from the exterior, creating a dwelling place for himself. Light can penetrate into a dark room through any old slit, projecting a blurred view of the outside world onto the wall. This is the principle of the camera obscura. The camera obscura and architecture are closely connected.
This is the brain of the... That goes in here. So,
The apparatus was fitted with a device able to hold photosensitive paper. It also had wheels, allowing me to move from door to door and superimpose the images of consecutive rooms as many times as the circumstances permitted. The last stage of the camera obscura process, before starting to record the image, is to put the large photosensitive paper across the back wall of the camera.
it's south. Stop. Bit more. Stop.
The resulting camera grew into a mobile architectronic element of the corridors and the building. At the same time, the camera assumed the dimensions of the corridor during the exposure, thus automatically specifying the dimensions of the pictures. Wheeled from door to door, the apparatus panned the entire length of the building, capturing it section by section on the same photo paper.
North. More. Stop. Ready.
I had to use a flashlight because the rooms were so dark in comparison with the blinding light from the beach outside. More than 100 flashes had to be made for each room to get a balance between the interior and exterior light readings. The days went by, one by one, in the rhythm of exposing and photographing each room. Time seemed to be divided by the beat of the flashlight. Looking out of a window, we are mere observers of a world of which we form no part at that moment. Architecture divides real space into two parts, and the external and the internal space will mutually become images of each other through the window. In addition to marking the boundary between exterior and interior, the windows and other openings also provide the means of observation, of focusing. In fact, a photographic camera is nothing more than a miniature, portable model of our living room.
Okay, stop. Check your back. We are looking. Oh. Yeah. Stop.
We're not there yet.
I divided the length of the exposure time between the number of rooms.
Okay. More.
I moved the camera along the corridor, taking a look into each of the rooms, always keeping the windows in the center of the frame. To be able to do that precisely, I used a laser device to enable the positioning of the camera obscura in the same place in each room.
Oh, we have to go up. Stop you. Yes. Is your back okay?
My back is good, yeah.
An obvious question arises regarding my reasons not to use a conventional camera. Why could I not have created the desired effect by cleverly superimposing the pictures instead? A picture edited together in that manner would have taken place in a fictitious space, not in a real one. In this way, the method of making the Prora pictures was built into the building, with the actual space itself defining the coordinates of the image. The dimensions of the building determined the size of the picture, which I shall call the actual size. The size of a photograph made with a conventional camera could be determined at will.
Oh, wait. 1 centimeter.
Back.
North.
Okay. Open, yeah? You ready?
Yeah.
Open.
It's much swimming
Careful with the wheels.
there. Yeah, I'm careful.
The fabric.
One room is the same as all the other rooms. As a consequence, one room could represent the entire building. This is how the formula for executing the Prora project came about. The superimposed images of rooms forming an endless chain along the infinite corridors.
Watch, stop. We have to go in your direction. The whole thing? Yeah. Okay, and now.
Okay?
Only what is general in the particular is represented here, but only in order to allow viewers to identify the finished picture with the room. The precise place of the particulars is replaced by the unidentifiability of the general, transforming meaning into a symbol, the cosmic sign of everything and nothing, of hardly something and almost nothing, of infinity. By superimposing their respective images, the rooms will lose their tiny personal vibrations. Through the window, the view of the external world bursts into the closed space of the new room, the picture within a picture. But this is not the simple situation of looking out of the window. As a result of the accumulated perspectives, the line of sight traverses the building. From the corridor, we are looking through the door, first into the room, and then through the window, further out, at the not always well-defined horizon. The complete picture is the manifestation of sameness over and over again, in or out of focus, suggesting the sameness of part and whole. However, the blurred contours seem to suggest some kind of a movement or speed. This could be the result of the active change of position and the length of the buildings that compels us to move in one direction. There is an analogy with a strange case of train windows, where the series of windows travelling along with the landscape, rather than the passive fact of the countryside rushing in a window, is what combines in the blurred impression of a strange journey.